Today we're taking a look at these NCAAB matches, which are happening on Monday, December 5, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus, if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. And make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Gonzaga vs Kent State. The Golden Flashes are emerging as a top mid-major program in the early start to the season. Kent State owns a record of 6-2 this year, with their only losses by single digits on the road to Charleston and number 2 Houston. Kent State tied the game at 41, all with 2 minutes to play against Houston, before the Cougars were able to edge out the win 49-44. Kent State snapped their 2-game losing streak by defeating South Dakota State on Friday, December 2nd. The Golden Flashes won 83-68 after a strong first half gave them a 16-point lead, and they were able to hang on for the win. South Dakota State never led in the game, as Kent State led by as much as 23 points. Gonzaga is only 1-2 this year when they are favored by double digits. Kent State is a perfect 7-0 against the spread this year, including 3-0 when they are underdogs. The difference on Sunday will be points in the paint. Kent State was able to force number 4 Houston into a jump shooting team rather than feast in the lane. If they can do that against Gonzaga, they could come away with an upset win. Kent State's carry will be one of the best guards on the floor, as he is able to score from anywhere on the court. Gonzaga's Tim will want revenge from a tough night in their latest game, but this has the makings of a total hangover game after Gonzaga's tough schedule of games. Gonzaga wins, but not in a blowout as Kent State stays undefeated against the spread. Take Kent State to cover. Gonzaga enters Monday's game with a 5-3 record. The Bulldogs have faced some of their toughest non-conference opponents in recent memory as they try to bolster their resume for March. But that tough schedule has led to more losses than usual. The Zags dropped their latest game to number 6 Baylor on Friday. Take the over here. San Diego State vs Troy. The Troy Trojans are on the road for the 3rd consecutive game. They covered in a 74-61 loss against a ranked Arkansas team on Monday and were 3-point favorites in a 78-72 road loss against Sue Edwardsville on Saturday. Troy has benefited from an easy schedule, playing a non-die foe 3 times. However, the Trojans managed to record a stunning road win against Florida State last month. They have covered the spread in 2 out of their last 3 clashes. The Trojans are ranked 163rd in die in Ken Pomeroy's college basketball ratings and are expected to be near the bottom of the Sun Belt this season. Troy is now 2-2 on the road this season, including a victory against Montana. The Trojans are averaging a stellar 81.7 points, good for 39th. They are conceding an average of 65.3 points. Darian Trammell has been in a slump, posting a field goal efficiency below 40% in 5 straight games. The senior guard has eclipsed 20 points twice this season and is averaging 13.1 ppg on 38% shooting. Trammell did not play Friday and is questionable with a hamstring injury. Matt Bradley scored 23 points in the defeat against Arkansas. The senior guard has logged an average of 11.3 ppg and is only shooting 31% from deep. Jaden Lee has not been able to net double digits in 5 straight games. The senior forward enters with an average of 9 ppg. The Troy Trojans' season record is somewhat misleading, considering they have played against 3 non-die opponents this season. San Diego State has looked good in a daunting schedule. They have beaten BYU, Stanford, Ohio State, and lost in OT against Arkansas. The Aztecs are dominant at home, and 4 of their 6 wins have been by double digits. Furthermore, there is a huge disparity in offense on these squads. The Trojans are averaging 102.4 points per 100 possessions, while the Aztecs are averaging a remarkable 110.4 points per 100 possessions. They are also conceding 11 fewer points per 100 possessions than the Trojans. All signs point to a convincing Aztecs victory. Our team pick is San Diego State Aztecs minus 15.5 points. The total has gone over a combined 9 out of 13 games for these two teams this season. San Diego State plays at one of the higher paces among DI schools, ranked 110th in Pomeroy's adjusted tempo. Lots of fouls result in lots of free throws, and points at the charity stripe are the fastest way to reach a total. It's a matchup between two teams who have better offenses than defenses, i.e. FG%. I think 67.5 apiece seems like a breeze for these two teams, so I'm on the over 135 points. Portland vs North Dakota State. It has been a rough start to the season for the North Dakota State Bison as they head into Portland. They are just 1-8 on the season and dropped to 0-5 on the road with a loss to Eastern Washington on Saturday afternoon, 78-70. The Bison had the lead with under 10 minutes to play, but Eastern Washington's 8-0 run spoiled the Bison's chances of earning their first road win of 2022-23. NDSU was led by Damari Wheeler-Thomas's 14 points, as well as Jakari White, who also had 14 points. Tajavis Miller chipped in with 13 points in the loss. The Bison shot the ball well overall at 46% and particularly well from 3-PT range, clocking in at 40% from distance. They were, however, done in by turnovers, committing 17 in the game. The Portland Pilots have gotten off to a strong start while navigating a fairly challenging schedule. They really put themselves to the test in the Phil Knight Legacy Tournament over Thanksgiving week. They had consecutive games against then number 1 North Carolina, 2021-22 Final Four participant Villanova, and finally then number 12 Michigan State. The Pilots sandwiched a pair of losses around an upset win over Villanova. They played each blue blood basketball school tough and proved their mettle. On Saturday night, Portland knocked off another North Dakota team, North Dakota University, 90-69 at home. 5 different players scored in double figures for the victorious Pilots. Leading the way was Christian Stjåland, who had 18 points, 7 rebounds and 2 blocks in the win. Tyler Robertson also had 18 points along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Finally, Moses Wood chipped in with a double-double of 12 points and 10 rebounds, while also dishing out 6 assists. Portland has now won 3 of its last 4 games. North Dakota State showed some fight on Saturday, but overall, they have had a tough go to start the season. They are just 1-8 thus far while having the 31st toughest schedule in the country to date. They are measuring well below average in efficiency on both ends of the floor and have been sloppy with the basketball. Portland, meanwhile, has also navigated a fairly tough schedule this season with the 101st ranked schedule. They are far more efficient on offense than the Bison and should dominate on that end. While Portland hasn't been sharp protecting the basketball, they are playing a team that is even worse at protecting the ball. Portland is 5-2 on the season at home, and that number will improve on Monday night. Take Portland minus 15.5 points. The North Dakota State Bison have been struggling and lost on the road 78-70 against the Eastern Washington Eagles. They did well as they scored 35 points in both halves of the game. They shot the ball well as they were 27 of 59, 45.8% overall, 12 of 30, 40% from the 3, and just 7 free throw attempts. Sophomore guard Jakari White led the team as in 26 minutes he finished with 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Defensively, they need to continue to improve as they allowed 51.6% from the floor and 30.4% from deep here. North Dakota State did decently well as they finished with 5 steals and 0 blocks throughout the game. The Portland Pilots are coming off a solid 90-69 home win over the North Dakota Fighting Hawks, and it definitely helps scoring 44+ points in each half. They did very well shooting the ball as they finished shooting 56.7% throughout the game, 42.1% from beyond the arc, and 18 free throw shots. Junior forward Christian Stjåland led Portland as in 29 minutes he finished with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. Defensively, they held their own as the Fighting Hawks finished 41.3% from the floor, 33.3% from 3, and 12 free throw attempts. The Pilots were able to record 5 steals and 4 blocks over the course of the game. Both programs have been playing with an extreme quickness this season, as Portland is 92nd in NCAA with 73.3 possessions per game, while North Dakota State is 67th in the sport with 74.3 possessions per game. They also both need to defend the three ball a bit better, as the Pilots are giving up 32.1% of threes shot against them, while the Bison have an opposing three-point percentage of 35.8%. The over has hit in 4 of the last 5 Monday games for the Bison, as well as in each of the previous 4 Pilots games, so go with over 154.5 points in this game as well.